Hello, I'm Mahathir Pasha and welcome to Rich vs Poor, Who's Damaging More? This video you're about to watch is a mere 10 minutes, however it is packed with plenty of information. I'm in Bangladesh and this report will try to unmask the truth behind what really is destroying our beautiful planet. For this first segment of Rich vs Poor, Who's Damaging More, I will compare an average rich person to an average poor person. Now for the first part of this segment, we are going to meet Nahian, an average rich child. Nahian lives in the city of Sylhet, one of the main districts of the whole of Bangladesh. He lives in the city of Sylhet. Say hello, Nahian!
Every morning, Nahian has a shower and then brushes his teeth. In total, Nahian uses about 15 litres of water every day.
After that, Nahian gets ready for school. Nahian goes to a private school where his education is perfect.
He goes to school and gets around to places in his big car. After Nahian comes back from his private school, he watches TV for at least 2 hours and then he plays his game consoles for another 1 hour, using a lot of electricity.
Now for the last part of this segment, we're going to meet Joy. Joy is an average poor person. He also, like Nahian, lives in Sylhet, a village of Sylhet named Soitpur. On the other hand, every morning when Joy wakes up, he has a shower in his local pond, which is recycling water. Joy doesn't brush his teeth with a brush, but brushes his teeth with his finger. He then rinses also with the local pond water. Now Joy goes to a local public school made by the generous donations from the public. Joy does not go to a private school like many typical Bengali children, as his family cannot afford it. However, he studies extra at home, only using one textbook and one exercise book. He doesn't have any other extra tuition.
Now after a long hard day's work at school, what Joy does for fun is he plays around with his friends. Look at them having fun. Joy gets around everywhere by walking. Unlike Nahian, he doesn't release any carbon emissions into the atmosphere whatsoever.
Now Joy lives in this small tin house, which only has a limited amount of electricity. He lives with a whopping 8 people, including himself, his mom, his dad, and all his brothers and sisters. You might think he lives in this large tin house. No, he only lives in one half. Now these are only a few things of Nahian and Joy's daily routines. However, I believe it is enough information for you to decide who really is damaging more. Next up on Rich vs Poor, Who's Damaging More, I will interview an average rich person and an average poor person. Let's take a look inside. In this segment, I'm going to interview a rich person, Mr. Al-Amin Hussain. He owns a big company in Bangladesh. So for the first part of this segment, I'm going to interview Mr. Abu Raihan, the average rich person.
Okay, so let's get started. First of all, I have to ask, what is your job? To be honest with you, I don't have a job. I do business. I'm a businessman. The name of my company is Link Asia, and I also have 2 other companies, one Nest Telecoms and one Nest Properties Limited. Also, within Link Asia, I have some travel agencies too.
Also, Link Asia travel agency also.
In the whole day, how many hours is dedicated to work? Actually, from 9 AM to 11 AM, I sit inside this office room. Well, I visit all 3 of my offices, and after doing so, I have many parties, conferences, sometimes meetings to attend, so I go to them. In total, daily, about 4 or 5 hours I dedicate to my work. So what do you do for fun? I don't know the meaning of fun. Joking. Actually, I'm not married, so I spend lots of time with my mum, my dad, my brother and sisters. Sometimes take them out, we eat at restaurants. We just like spending time together. Question number 4 is, in a day, how much money do you earn and how much do you spend? Are you talking daily salary or monthly salary? You can say whatever suits you best. The system is measured in monthly salary. So every month we earn about 15 to 20,000 pounds. After bills and costing, a good 4 or 5 grand goes on people's salary and bills for the office. Now, do you want to know how much I spend personally or how much I spend from the office? I would like to know both mixed together. Well, in that case, about 2,000 to about 2,500 pounds. Another question is, what form of transport do you use? How do you get around? Well, I have my private car, and well, to be honest, Sylhet town is pretty much jam-packed all the time. Therefore, I have a motorcycle, and all my staff members have motorcycles, so it's, they're not late to work or anything like that. Okay, so have you ever rode a rickshaw? Yeah, of course. For my leisure time, I love to ride rickshaws. When the Sylhet streets aren't very jam-packed, such as in the morning and at night time.
Okay.
First question is, I understand your office is very nice. In each office, how many electrical equipment / appliances do you have? Electrical equipment, well, in this office I have 1 computer, 2 laptops, I have 2 printers, 1 kettle, there's about 3 air conditioners, there are other electrical equipments which are used for my network systems, and I have a telephone that uses the electrical type. That stuff is just in one office. What about your other offices? These are pretty much the same, yeah. Could you tell me a bit about your electrical bills then? In total, in summer, I get about 2 to 2,500 pounds maybe. Well, that's everything. Okay, thanks for your time. Okay, bye-bye.
For the next part of this segment, I'm going to interview the poor person. Amit Shibu. He's been driving a rickshaw pretty much all his life. He's a full-time driver. What time do you wake up for work?
I wake up at about 6 a.m. I leave the house about 6:30 for my work. In total, every day I work about 12 hours. I leave the house in the morning up about 6:30 a.m. I return at home at about 8 p.m.
How much money do you spend a day and how much do you earn?
Every day I earn about 2 to 3 pounds, and most of it gets spent just to feed my children.
Do for fun. What's your time?
I travel a lot with my family and kids when I have time. Spend a little time with my wife. That's what I do for fun.
When you are not working, how do you travel to places?
I travel around with my rickshaw if I want to go anywhere. I don't believe in wasting money in cars and CNGs. I live in a small tin house and it doesn't have any electrical appliances whatsoever, apart from a light bulb, which I don't use much.
How many people do you have?
In total, there's 6 of us. There's me, my wife, I have 3 boys and 1 girl. So in total that's 6 of us living in our small tin house. Well, that's it for the interview segment. I hope after you have watched these interviews, you finally understand who really is damaging more. From what we know, the rickshaw driver works a whopping 12 hours only to earn a mere £2 to £3, whereas the businessman only works about 2 to 3 hours to earn a whopping £3,000 to £4,000. So after the rickshaw driver works so hard, he still is making his point and saving our environment, whereas Mr. Businessman isn't even working that many hours and still he's damaging too much.
Now I know this will make you cry, but we have reached the end of Rich versus Poor, who's damaging more. I understand this was only a short report,